All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to tackle a really modern question. How in the world are you supposed to live an ethical life online? And to answer it, we're going to look at two things that seem like they have nothing in common: a 2,500-year-old Buddhist text and a super modern tech conference. It sounds a little strange, I know, but stick with me. We're going to see if we can build a bridge between these two worlds and find a guide for our digital age.
So our story starts way back in ancient India. Picture this. There's this young guy named Sigala, and he's out there, hair dripping, clothes soaked, bowing to the east, the south, the west, the north, basically every direction you can think of. He's performing this really elaborate ritual, but here's the thing. He doesn't actually know why he's doing it.
So the Buddha comes along and, asks him, hey, what are you up to? And Sigala's answer is pretty simple. He says he's just doing what his dad told him to do on his deathbed. It's one of those things, right? A sacred tradition that's been passed down for so long, the real meaning, the spirit of it has just kind of gotten lost over time. And this is where it gets really interesting. The Buddha basically flips the whole thing on its head. He offers Sigala a totally radical new way to see it. He says, hey, what if this isn't about worshiping some abstract points on a compass? What if it's about honoring the real, living, breathing people in your life? It's a huge shift, moving from the stars in the sky to the folks right here on the ground.
Okay, so park that idea for a second. We're going to do a little time travel. Let's fast forward 2,500 years to right now and look at something called the Buddhist Creators Convention. Their goal is massive. They want to reach 100 million people with Buddhist ideas by 2030, and they plan on doing it using TikTok, YouTube, AI, the whole shebang. It feels like two totally different universes, but as you're about to see, they're wrestling with some of the exact same questions.
Okay, so let's dive into this old code. The very first thing the Buddha tells Sigala is foundational. He's like, look, before you can even think about honoring your relationships or covering the 6 quarters, you've got to get your own house in order first. It all starts with you.
And he gives him this super clear, no-nonsense list of 6 ways you can basically ruin your life. He calls them channels for dissipating wealth. And he's not just talking about money here. We're talking about your reputation, your well-being, your future, everything. It's like a timeless user manual for not messing things up.
And what's so smart about this is that it's not just a list of don'ts. It explains the why. Take gambling, for example. The text doesn't just say you might lose your money. It's way deeper. If you win, people resent you. If you lose, you're miserable. And either way, your friends start to lose respect for you. Every single action creates these ripples.
So you see, this whole ancient code, at its heart, is all about relationships. And that brings us smack into the middle of one of our biggest modern challenges, trying to navigate our online networks. How do you tell who your true friends are versus, just a number on a follower count?
Well, check this out. The sutta lays out 4 signs of a warm-hearted friend. Basically, they've got your back, they're real with you, they push you to be better, and they're genuinely happy when you succeed. Now look at the right side, the modern creators' goals. The words are different. Community circles, authentic engagement. But the core idea? It's exactly the same. It's all about genuine support.
Okay, but this next part is where it gets a little scary, and honestly, incredibly relevant. The Buddha warns about the flatterer, the person who praises you to your face but talks trash behind your back. Sound familiar? It's the person who drops a fire emoji on your post and then goes and writes some nasty anonymous comment somewhere else. The technology has changed for sure, but that kind of human behavior, it's ancient. All right, so from our own personal actions and our close friends, the sutta zooms out. It starts to paint this bigger picture, this beautiful, ordered map for society, and it's all built on this idea of specific mutual responsibilities.
This is the big reveal for Sigala's ritual. The Buddha explains the East, that's your parents. The West, that's your partner and kids. Each direction represents a core relationship, and it's a two-way street. A child supports their parents, parents guide their child. It creates this really stable, predictable world where everyone knows their role and what's expected of them.
Now just contrast that stable world with the journey of a modern creator. Look at this schedule from the convention. This isn't about fitting into a role that's already there for you. No way. This is about acquiring a whole set of skills to create a brand new role. You have to find your niche, craft magnetic content, understand the science of virality, even use AI. You're building your own platform from scratch.
So you see this profound gap, right? On one hand, a world of sacred duties and a tight-knit community. On the other, a world of viral content for a massive global audience. So the big question is, how on earth do you connect those two things?
Well, the convention offers a really powerful idea as a bridge. They call it the digital bodhisattva. The whole point is to completely reframe what it means to be a creator. You're not just using these platforms to get famous or build a personal brand. You're using them as a form of service, as a way to share compassion and wisdom on a scale that was unimaginable before.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. That ancient text isn't some dusty, outdated rulebook. It's your ethical compass. It gives you the why behind your actions. And the modern convention, that's your map. It gives you the how, the tools you need to navigate this wild, complex digital world. One gives you your direction, the other helps you read the terrain. You absolutely need both to find your way.
But that leaves us with one last and maybe the most important question to think about. In a world that runs on algorithms, clicks, likes, and followers, can that simple, core intention of compassion and service actually survive? Or does the relentless pressure to get more engagement, to go viral, inevitably change the very message you started with? That's a big one to chew on.
Together, let's build 100 million followers, guided by wisdom, responsibility, and compassion. Join us now!